Om Namo Narayanaya. Good morning, because I'm doing this session in the morning, and we welcome you all for this a very different session. And the topic, you all know, live in joy and not for joy. In this topic, slowly, we are covering some subtopics to make our understanding very clear that how can we live in joy and not for joy. So, today's topic, deconditioning your mind, is the key to live in joy. Deconditioning our mind is a key to live in joy. Let me first start with this explanation of what do we understand by conditioning. I'm giving one example. See, a prism is crystal clear and absolutely transparent. If you keep that prism, which is crystal clear and transparent, on the plane surface, now take a red flower, rose, and put behind this crystal clear prism. What happens? When you look at the prism from the front, it appears that the prism is red. Now think, is a prism red? No, because of the conditioning of the red flower, it is appearing as if it is red. So, this what I call it as condition. See, our mind is actually a very joyful, a very serene, a very calm, and actually a very pure thing. But because of the conditioning, it takes the color as the prism has taken a color. Now, just giving an example. This mind, as this prism, when we start living with different people, we start facing different situations, and we start getting different information, our mind is slowly getting conditioned by all these interaction with the world. Now, a set of people, if are not a very good thinker, whose thinking is not very well developed, and you are listening to them right from your childhood, so what happens? Your mind gets conditioned by it. Another example is, sometime I think I was conditioned, I don't know about you all, but most of the people were conditioned, and some of the people are still conditioned with this, what I'm telling now. See, when people go for some work, they just come out of their house, and if a cat comes and crosses their way, my God, what happens? Now, this person who is conditioned, who has already had an information that if a cat comes in front of you when you are going for some work, then it is not auspicious. Now, think about it. This is called as conditioning. A cat is an animal, and this animal is not different than any other animal at all, because the cat does not have any emotion or anything to do with your mind, and it has no actual intention to give any inauspiciousness to anyone in the world. It is just a conditioning of the mind. Now, just imagine. Once I was going somewhere and there was someone with me, and again a cat crossed our way. So this person said, just wait, just wait. I said, what? Now let someone come and cross. I said, why? He says, no, no, that cat which crossed our way, now it is not auspicious, but let someone go now. So I asked one question to this person. That means knowingly you want someone to fall in any some auspicious or inauspicious condition. Think. Then that person started thinking about it. So just imagine, this is called as conditioning of the mind. Let me give a few examples to make our understanding very clear about this condition. Another example is a person who is sick with a disease called as jaundice. Jaundice is a liver disease. And when this person gets a jaundice, what happens? His eyes turns yellow, and it is a effect of this disease that he or she who is suffering with this jaundice starts everything as yellow, yellow, looks everything for this person yellow, yellow, yellow. Now just imagine, this person actually had seen the world before, and now with this disease it is seeing the same world with this effect of jaundice as yellow, yellow, yellow. But now we all know this world or anything in this world is not only yellow, yellow, yellow. It is just a effect of this disease called as jaundice. Yes or no? So therefore, now this is called as conditioning. For more example, like see, we all have some favorite food items in our life. And when they come in front of us, our mind just becomes so enthusiastic, so cheerful. Now, the same mind, when this person is sick with any disease, like a viral disease, simple, not this corona, simple viral disease, which even if you take a medicine or if you do not take a medicine, 3 days it stays and it goes. With little precaution, like taking a lukewarm water and some sort of herbal tea, and it's all the medicine for the simple viral infection. Now just imagine the food item which I like so much taste absolutely ordinary, or there is no taste and we refuse to eat it just because my body is not now well, my tongue does not have a taste, so the mind says, I don't like it, I don't want it now. Just imagine that food item which was a great joy for me or for that person, now it has turned to become absolutely ordinary, or it is not giving any joy for this person at all. How? It's because of the conditioning. It's because of the conditioning. Okay, hope this conditioning is very clear. Now I give an example from the Mahabharata and the great source of knowledge, Bhagavad Gita. Imagine, see this Arjuna, who is a great warrior and a fantastic fantastic person also, a great devotee of a Lord. Now this person, from last so many years, when they were in forest as an exile, so they were preparing to get all the weapons to fight against this Kaurava, those who were always doing injustice to them. Now Arjuna was prepared and gained so many weapons because of the right direction of Krishna, who was telling him that you must have these weapons with you. So, with a great effort, with a great tapasya, he could get all the weapons. Now, the war is declared because the Duryodhana could not understand the right thinking or right way of living the life. So this Duryodhana also see, he is also conditioned because of his uncle Shakuni. Okay, so that's a different story altogether. So now this Arjuna, who is ready to fight, has come on the battlefield, and who is a charioteer? My God, Krishna, the Lord of the universe, he himself is a charioteer. He says to Bhagwan Krishna, so let me see who all have come to fight with me. So Krishna takes the chariot and places this chariot in front of two great people, Bhishmacharya and Dronacharya. The moment Arjuna sees both of them in front of his own chariot, his mind get conditioned, the emotion starts flowing, and so much so that he starts crying, he starts yelling, he starts talking all sort of things which has no meaning, but he himself keep thinking that this is what I'm thinking is right. Now just imagine this mind which was ready, which was prepared, which was very much focused. What happened to this mind when he saw both of them in front of the chariot? This is called as conditioning. The mind got deluded and covered by wrong notions. And therefore, his whole energy, his whole enthusiasm, his inner power got completely drained. And Arjuna, the great warrior, the great hero, now because of this situation has become weak. So much so that even the bow he could not lift. It also fell down of his hand and started crying. Can you imagine? This is called as conditioning of the mind. So, please understand, these are very important things, how the mind gets conditioned, how the mind gets conditioned. Now, few more things that let our understanding about this conditioning be very clear, and we start appreciating that yes, it is because of the conditioning this effect is there, which is called as the disturbance of the mind, the negativity of the mind, the disharmony of the mind. This is only because of the condition. Now, a simple example. If I ask you a question, if you are a right-handed person who is handling everything by right hand, then your right hand is powerful than your left hand. So question is simple. Why is it powerful than your left hand? Answer is so simple. Because most of the time for the action, I used my right hand. And therefore, because of the use, it has become strong, and my left hand has not become that strong as my right hand. Yes or no? Think. It is a fact. So, this is called as when I use something, then it gains a right power. But if I do not use it correctly, it remains weak. Now ask a question. Can this weak hand we can turn to be a strong hand or not? Yes, it is possible. I'll tell you my own example. Because I had a fall, I broke my wrist, and there was a plaster put up for 1.5 months. Now, when you have to sign, when you have to write something, you can't use your right hand. And I'm a right handed person. So, with my willpower, I started in after 2-3 days of my fracture, writing with left hand. Slowly, 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 in 8 days, believe me, I could sign all what is required by my left hand, and I could write quite fantastically, not as good as right hand, but to the great extent with the left hand. Why is it so? Because I just focused my mind and gave a right direction to use this right hand, left hand now instead of right hand. And it really worked. Just imagine. So we have this power to decondition our mind and then use it as unconditional. Simple, this few examples also can make us understand that what this conditioning can really give, can do to all of us. I am just gushing with the thoughts about this conditioning. So let me give one or two more examples and then we come to the solution. See, sunrise. We say, oh my God, sun is rising and now it's so beautiful. The whole sky is turning fantastically colorful. And slowly, 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 in the evening, we say, now there is a sunset. So, my dear friends, ask a question. Is the sun rising or is the sun setting actually? The answer is no. Sun is not rising, sun is not setting, just because the earth is moving, and that's why this is the effect. This is the effect. Therefore, please register that because of the disturbance of the mind, because of the conditioning of the mind, this, whatever we feel as a sorrowful condition called as depression state of the mind, is all conditioning, is all condition. Now, I just give you a few examples which are fantastic. You know, years back, I was working in Mumbai College, and we had a very big sort of Indo-US program, and that time I was working as an assistant scientist. So, one campus we had close to the inside the city, like it was in Parel area, and one side, one campus was in Goregaon, that's in Ari Colony, the beautiful place surrounded by a good, nice forest. There we had a big stable where the cows and buffaloes could be kept. Now, what happened? When I went there, every day we used to go there. One day I saw I was in our college jeep, and in front there was a huge truck, big, and it was all half full with the crushed stone, which they use it for concreting. And 2, 3 laborers were absolutely sleeping in hot sun on that so-called as bed of crushed stone, and were no worries about the things because they were into the deep sleep. Because when the truck stopped in front, the close to the signal, and our car was just next to it, I could realize, my God, just imagine, here there are people, n number of people, those who cannot sleep even by taking the pill, the medicine. And here are people, those on the hot sun, on the bed of crushed stone, all comfortably, they are taking nice sleep or nap. Isn't it a great example for all of us to understand how the mind gets conditioned? And then when it gets conditioned, it doesn't allow us to be joyful. Think, think how these people could, with a very ease, could sleep on that bed of crushed stone, just because there is no conditioning. They are used to it and their mind is fine with it. Please, please understand. Now, coming to the solution. See, as I keep telling, the solution is not like something called as gross. An object, this, we have to give it to someone, I gave it to someone. This is very easy. But when it comes to the mind is very subtle organ. It has nothing in it as a gross. You can't see the mind, but you can understand by experience of your feeling. You can understand it by experience of your feeling. Please now pay attention. How one has to understand the solution? I keep asking simple questions now. We keep playing a different roles in our life. Like, we take an example. A person is a brother, a person is husband, a person is a son, a person can be an officer, a person can be a doctor, a same person can be a prime minister. Now, one person who is playing so many roles, now ask this person, which identity of yours is the real identity? Are you a brother and that's your real identity? Are you husband and that's why is it your real identity? Are you a doctor and because of that is it your real identity? So if you give a thought to it, then you will understand, no, this is not my real identity. All these are my roles as per the situation. If I'm a doctor and I'm in the hospital, then my identity as per the situation is doctor. If I'm at home, then with my wife, then I am as a husband. If I am with my brother, then my identity is brother. But it's not that and that alone. That means in with situation is comes and with situation is goes. Such thing which comes and goes is called as relative. And that's why all our relation are called as relatives, because they are not permanent. They come, they go. Please think about it. Please note it. That that which comes and that which goes is called as relative, is called as relative relation. Now I'm asking a question. That sort of joy which has come because of something, if that has come because of something, definitely can go because of something. Like if a joy has come because of a very tasty food, so the joy will end when I finish my food and I just after an hour or so forget about this experience. To the great extent, it may remain in my mind, but that joy does not remain which was there when I was having that food item. Yes or no? Yes. So, this joy which has come because something has gone when it's not there. So, now a question can be asked. Think, what object or what person can give us can give us joy for 24/7? Good question or not? Again I repeat, what object or a person can give us a joy 24/7? We can understand there is no such object, there is no such situation, there is no such person which can give us joy 24/7. That means that joy which comes and goes because of object or person is relative joy. Is relative joy. I am just giving a name to it. Example. Now I just want to give an example of mine. See, when I was working in college, that time my name was something. Then I thought, let me study the Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad. So I went to Sandipani Sadhanalaya of Chinmay Mission, Mumbai, and studied the Vedanta completely for 2 years. After that, there was a choice whether to accept the spiritual life or can go to your normal life. But I accepted that, yes, let me now live this spiritual life with this knowledge and spread this knowledge to everyone. So then the Diksha happened. The first Diksha, Brahmacharya Diksha. So the name what was there of this body was changed to something else. So then after that, I started having, means I had that name. So everyone started calling me with that name. And that name was Prahlada Chaitanya. So for years, the same name remained. Then the next Sannyas Diksha happened. Again, the name of the body changed. And it came as a Swami Prakarsha Nanda. Now I ask the question, which name is actually a real name? That name which was there for years together with this body till age around 30 plus. Then another name which was there with this body for some years. And now this name which I gained because of my sannyasa diksha, this name is now continuing. So out of the three names, the name which we can understand a reality is that which is in present. That which is a present, and that's the reality. So understand, the present is a reality, do not label it as good or bad. Present is the reality. Do not label it as good or bad. Whatever it is, face it. So, Krishna Bhagwan told Arjuna, this situation is just apt for you. You do not have to label this situation as good or bad, difficult or easy. But Arjuna, you have to just face this situation because this is your duty. In the same way, in our life, everything comes to all of us because of n number of factors, and whatever comes to all of us is a present fact, is a reality. So he who with cheerful mind and right understanding, with positive attitude, faces the situation, acts in joy and not for joy, because this person knows that everything in this world, object and the beings, are relative, and they can only give a relative joy. So, the real source of joy is within, within, and within. So, he who understands that the joy which comes because of object goes away, even the sorrow which comes because of someone also can go, because we have all experienced a person who has given us joy also has given us sorrow sometimes. So now, this person, what will you label? Joyful or sorrowful? Nothing. Because of that person conditioning of the mind, that person acted in that way. So let us not label it. So the solution is, he who or she who does not label the experiences and takes the experiences of every moment in life with the right understanding, with positivity, and with cheerful mind, with this knowledge which deconditions our mind, can live in joy, can act in joy. So therefore, my dear friends, let us understand that the joy which we want is a permanent and not relative one. So let us decondition our mind by right knowledge, and let our mind be serene, calm, positive, which is actually its own nature. Its own nature. So he who can unfold one's own true nature of the mind can live in real joy, can live in real joy. Om Namo Narayanaaya.